Hello, Business Rockstar. This is the first lesson in creating your succulent strategies. In other words, we're going to dig into marketing today. We'll start with good old-fashioned face-to-face networking. Networking is one of the major strategies in building your passion-driven, money-making, kick-ass business. It's also one of the fastest ways to get money into your pocket early in your business. This is because for people to hire you, they generally need to get to know you and like you before they'll trust you enough to give you their hard-earned money. And by being right in front of them face to face, that's how they get to know you and like you. Now, networking can be broken into 3 separate phases: the pre-party prep, walking the red carpet, and the after party. During your pre-party prep, you'll scope out where your tribe hangs out, set your intention for networking, and make sure you're coming from the right mindset. Walking the red carpet is all about what you do when you get there, showing up fully as yourself, in your brand and in your superpowers. It includes having a plan for approaching new people with ease and how to have the best conversation that the other person has ever had. And the after party is where many entrepreneurs fail. They take that stack of business cards they've collected and file them away, never to be seen again. Instead, we're going to turn those contacts into potential clients and future profit. Let's start with the pre-party prep. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to figure out where your tribe is hanging out. You've done all the work to identify who your perfect client is, who your tribe is. You've also discovered how best to serve them, and you know what their big pain is. Now, with that information, do a simple online search. For instance, if you serve businesswomen, you might search businesswomen organizations and associations in your town. If your tribe consists of moms with preschoolers, type that into your web browser and note any organizations or meetings that show up. Next, subscribe to meetup.com. You'll be asked to choose what kind of events you want to be notified of and choose the ones that fit your tribe. You'll receive regular updates of events in your area, and you'll be able to do your own search of those events near you. Finally, you're going to ask your current clients, your business associates, and friends, both online and offline, for referrals to organizations that hold events where your tribe hangs out. And finally, you're going to get really, really creative. Most likely, your tribe are people just like you. So where else do you hang out? The gym? The PTA, church groups, the roller rink? Are your prospects likely to attend Chamber of Commerce events, city council meetings, or community volunteer activities? If so, you need to be hanging out there as well. Get really creative in your search and note additional events where you might run into your perfect client. And finally, you can look for some one-time or yearly events in your area that might attract your tribe. While you might not want to attend multi-day events all of the time, these places are also where you get to meet people and develop relationships very, very quickly. Once you've started your research and you've discovered several likely places, check the meeting dates, times, and locations and any meeting costs, and choose 4 to 6 events to attend each month. Get out your calendar and schedule those in just like any regular appointment. If you can fit more into your schedule without jeopardizing your health, your relationships, your work, then that means you'll be meeting more people and you'll be able to leverage those interactions into more clients. Before each event, set your intention. What do you want to achieve from your networking? How many new people do you want to connect with? Intention requires you to be very, very specific. So this is not the place to fudge your numbers or to say, As many as possible. You wouldn't tell the waiter at a new restaurant, just bring me something I'll love to eat. So why approach your business with a whatever shows up is fine attitude? For each event, note the number of new contacts you'll make and how much you'll enjoy meeting them. Then check your supplies. Before you go into a new networking event, you want to make sure you have a pocket full of your business cards, a notepad and a pen to write down the contact info for people who don't have their business cards with them, and your phone or your paper calendar, if you use a paper calendar, to schedule any consultations or coffee meetings on the spot. And then finally, you're going to check your mindset. You've done your prep work. You've set your intention. Now let it go. Let the universe take over and do their part. Your job is to show up and be happy. Say to yourself, I'm going to this event and I am going to have fun. Let go of any self-criticisms, any expectations. Just fill your body with love and let your inner saboteur go take a nap. And then just have fun at the event. There was a study once where a bunch of college students boarded an airplane and sat next to complete strangers. They were instructed not to tell strangers anything about themselves, not even their names. They simply asked questions and were very, very interested in learning all about the stranger. Upon exiting the airplane, the strangers were asked to comment upon the person they sat next to, and every single one of them said that the person who sat next to them was the most interesting person they had ever met. And then they couldn't tell the interviewer the person's name. To become the most interesting person in the room, get very, very interested in other people. Here's some tips on how to start a conversation. First, imagine you're going to a fun cocktail party. You wouldn't walk into a cocktail party and shove your business card in somebody's hand. You get to know people, and that's what networking is all about. Be your brand when you show up, and then you won't have to shove your business card in people's faces. Start by looking for individuals who are sitting or standing alone and approach them with a smile. Make it your goal to help them feel comfortable. Hold out your hand and introduce yourself. Ask them how long they've been part of the group or why they belong. Then look around for groups that are open, allowing you space to slip in, versus tight little groups that are whispering together. Approach with a smile and wait for the group to shift, allowing you space. This will happen automatically in almost every situation. Again, hold out your hand, say hi, and introduce yourself. If you're looking for a way to start a conversation, find something to compliment the person on. Women love to hear that you've noticed their great necklace or their really, really great shoes. And then be quiet and get really curious. Really listen to what the other person has to say. Ask questions. Be present with them, not in your head thinking about how you'll respond. Now, since you're at a networking event, it's okay after a few minutes to thank them for their time and suggest that you each go off to meet other people. If this is a really shy person, then introduce them to somebody else you know into the room and exchange business cards so that you can connect after the event. So, what's the first thing you should do after you return home from a networking event? Do you open a bottle of wine and sit down to a great episode of one of the reality housewife shows? No. The first thing you should do is to sit down and record 3 good things that happened at the event in your gratitude journal. This will create neural pathways that fire good feelings toward networking in the future. And part of your Kick-Ass Biz is to create lots and lots of positive neural pathways that make developing your business easier and more fun. The more you do this, the easier it will be for you to attend and make great contacts at other networking events. And then within 24 hours, you want to sort the business cards that you've collected from the night before into piles. 1 for potential clients, 1 for potential team members, 1 for potential referral partners, and 1 for potential collaborative partners. Enter all the cards into a database with notes to remind you who they are. Now, don't add people to your email distribution list without their prior approval. People get very turned off by this practice, and you've immediately lost all chance of them ever working with you if you do this. Send a nice to meet you email or snail mail card to the people you've met and mention one thing that stood out about your conversations. And then within 48 hours, call to schedule a follow-up coffee with those you're really drawn to. Trust your gut for the feeling of having met someone that belongs in your tribe. If appropriate, you can invite them into a complimentary business consultation, your sample my work session. And then in your database, track your follow-up with each person, what the outcome was of your conversation. And then use that tracking to refine what events you'll attend in the future. So if you end up going to an event where you don't meet anybody you like, and you've done that 2 or 3 times, that's probably an event that's not going to serve you well. Or if you find you've spent 6 months consistently going to one event and never even had anyone take you up on your offer of a sample my work session, it might be time to find another event. You need to know that it does take time to build these relationships, and so don't give up after just one meeting. Go in, sample a couple of different times at the event, and then make the decision whether or not this is a group you'll stick with or if you'll replace it with another group. Go ahead in this lesson, find your networking events, get them on your calendar, and have fun. I'll see you in the next lesson.